All right. Well, this is going to be part two of the manual shifter. Okay, reinstall or reverse install of the linkages and shifter being removed from the unit from the floor shifter itself. Now these are the clips that came with the cables and a lot of the hardware. A little advice. Seeing all this rust. Now what I've learned over the years to remove rust, you could use, vinegar, and vinegar works for removing rust. You could let it sit in the vinegar for a couple hours or whatever, and then just come back and get a brush and scrape the rust, and it should all come out. And at the very least, most of it should come out. Most of it should come off. All right, because once again, finding these parts it's pretty hard to do. And just for clips like this, I've seen on eBay go for around like 30 bucks, man, easy. All right, so for the hardware, the parts that weren't rusted per se, like this, it's got a little bit of rust, obviously, but not too much of a concern. All right, I just took some 70% rubbing alcohol, cleaned out all the old grease. Okay, cleaned this obviously a little bit, and looks better than what it did before in the first video. Nothing's got to be perfect. Nobody's going to really see it anyway. And then I got this white lithium grease, all right, to apply, to these parts. Okay, I'm going to apply it to the spring, reattach the spring to this, and put it in there. So, I'm going to see if I can get, something to, like a camera stand or something, so I could lube it up and reassemble. That we all could see what I'm doing. All right. All right, so I thought I had the phone attachment for my camera stand, but I don't. But here's one of those levers for the shifter cable. Okay, you're gonna get the spring. All right, it's a lot. My bad, I got all this other hardware in the way. But this spring, if you remove it, just remember it goes on this way. And then these little rubber pieces are going to attach to those two metal bars. And you're going to go put it back in like so. Sorry, it's hard doing this with one hand. Okay. Now those are going to have to go on each side. All right. Yeah, so I made a mistake. Okay, those two bars are supposed to go on one bar on each side of this lever. And then that's like a cushion support for the back. All right, so I'm going to put it in there and see if it attaches properly, and I'll come back. Once again, it's hard doing this with, one hand without the camera. All right, yeah, so that's pretty much how you get it on. Then it could move, back and forward. Now remember, on this side, you're going to have the star washer that you got to put on. Now this is the short throw shifter that I had bought, okay, for my manual swap. Now, you don't really have to get one of these, but it does help a lot. There is a difference when you're shifting gears. I had a Subaru, and it was a 5-speed, and I purchased the short throw shifter for my Subaru, and also with the weighted shift knob, and it was a night and day difference. All right, the shifts, of course, were a lot smoother. You know, it was a major reduce in the throw. Okay, so this is the shifter I picked up. All right, it's about an inch, maybe a little bit more, a little less length compared to the stock one. But that inch or less, you'll definitely feel the difference. All right, now Fidenza makes one of these. I believe you could find on eBay and on the internet for around, I'm going to say $120, $140. And then there's this one I got, which is pretty much the same thing. It's made by Relco RZ. There's the part number, 914938. It's pretty much the same thing for about $20 less. All right. So yeah, this kit also comes with the this tool to, I guess, take off the bushing caps on each side of the shifter. And it also comes with those star washers in case you lose the one that you took off. Now I'm going to go ahead and put one of these on and see if it stays on. Well, let's just say this. Fortunately for me, okay, I found the original star washer and I just pressed it in. This one was kind of a bitch, alright? And my tools are limited, so I just went and pressed this one back on. By the grace of God, hopefully it doesn't pop out. Okay. It seems like it's going to stay on. Gotta press it a little bit more, but yeah. So let's continue on with this installation. Alright. Let's see, there's something in the way. Okay, so this is going to go in here, but before that, alright, here's a little shifter piece that's going to drop in there. We got to put our shifter in, so gotta get some grease. It's a little bit. I noticed that this is I've been using it way too much. I've been applying way too much, but it shouldn't hurt. As they say, the more the merrier. Alright, just get it all up in there. Get it all up in her. Alright, I'll be back. Wish I found my camera stand so y'all could actually see me doing this, you know. It's so get some grease, put it all up in there, all over there, and there's this little rubber piece that sits on this side like a crown. Then you're gonna go and you're gonna put this part back on after we put the shifter inside. Can't forget that. Remember I told you guys, you know, this is part 1. This is part 2 actually. And I've never worked on Toyotas before. But I missed a step. And I'm going to show you guys, which maybe some of you already caught on. Before installing this and putting back on that washer, I was supposed to drop the shifter in here because part of the shifter goes into this. And I just figured that out. Hey, it's a good thing we're here together, and my mistakes will help you to not make any. Alright, so after removing that star washer, I noticed the next time it came out a lot easier, but it still does its job. You could still use it again if it's like too loose or you could see that you can't press it on. Try your best to get these back or buy a whole new star washer. But yeah, so there's a step I missed. I forgot to drop this in and then applying the linkage and shoving this in their holes. Alright, so let's get that done and I'll come right back. Now I almost made another mistake. I pressed that in and I almost forgot to put this in. Alright, don't forget. Okay, to put this on before you go and decide to put in that fucking lever. Alright, so it's in. It's in there. I'm pretty sure this is the right way. Alright, let me make room for you to see. Alright, there it is. There's a shifter in there. And then now we're going to put in that final linkage. I forget how that dude said it in Encino Man, but remember it goes like this. These two bars, or these this springy clamp thingy thing, one leg per side. You shove it in this hole, and remember, one leg per side, and then those legs are going to sit in between that little rubber squarey thing. Okay, another mistake. Before you do all that, make sure you pop this bushing from the shifter into this side before you add this springy part back on. Another mistake, but we figured it out. Alright, there it is. Just gotta put the shifter knob on. And there it is. There it is. So, yeah, comment, like, subscribe. Of course, I didn't push that pin in, but that's really all there is to it. And we're done with this part. Alright, there's going to be more videos coming. But this is just the install of the shifter. Thanks for watching.